Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Searching for Happiness podcast. I am your host, Joseph Grable, and today I have with me filmmaker, director, writer, actor, and U.S. Navy veteran, Marteverick Shears. How are you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed. I'm happy. I'm excited to be back for yet another episode, man. Another opportunity to sit down and talk to you, man. So, yeah, I'm good, bro.
I'm excited. I'm excited to have you, man, and thank you for coming back on. You know, last time, I think you were actually my first ever video guest.
Yes.
But
yes.
I couldn't figure out all the editing stuff yet. So
yes.
With like the vertical videos and everything, so I never got to really properly promote it or anything.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and just like I was just telling you as well, bro. From last time I was here, and you like you said, I was the first guest that you shot the video for. Even with your production quality, even the way that you are moving with, your lighting and with your camera, everything is everything is on another level compared to last time I was here. So salute to you, bro.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. A lot's changed since last time I had you. I think last time I had you was sometime in the summer, if I believe right. Maybe even before the summer. This podcast is like a year old. Almost.
Yeah.
I just haven't been consistent with it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 23 episodes in a year because on the 20th of January.
I gotta beg to differ though, man. You from the outside looking in, you've seemed very consistent. Because this is the second season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That speaks volume right there, bro. The fact you're on the second season. Yeah, don't pin that on yourself, bro. No, you have been consistent. There's nothing wrong with the break. Yeah, man, you've been good. The fact that you're still doing it, you doing good, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, man.
So how's it been going? What are some new things that you have learned or?
That's a good question.
If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, man. First and foremost, I make the biggest mistake everyone does in film, and I forget the slate. So slating, if you don't know what slating is, if you're not part of the film world, slating is where you have a clapper and it makes that sound, and it allows you to sync up all your audio. So when you're using multiple cameras like this, it makes the job a lot easier. So I forget to do that all the time, so I'll spend an hour or two trying to sync people's mouths up, and that's no fun at all. And I still do it all the time. So that's why when we started, I took it a double take because I'm so paranoid about it now that I'm I gotta get a second clap in there just in case.
And I feel you.
Making sure the chords are mostly all right. I mean, they're a little tangled right now, but most of the time they're pretty neat and wrapped up.
Not too bad.
Yeah. There's just a lot of video things too, making sure that the camera is actually recording. Ooh. Nothing's worse than getting through 40 minutes of a conversation and realizing none of the cameras are recording.
No footage.
But a lot of it's still trial and error. A lot of the things I've been learning are post-production, editing. I wanted to master. I started audio first so I could get good at audio first, and chopping that up and making it sound good. But then after that, I switched to video, so now I'm learning all the video techniques and stuff, which is a little challenging. Making the vertical videos is a lot more than people think it is.
Oh yeah. As far as what would you mean?
For instance, you can go through Canva, or you can go through certain editing softwares where you can make it automatically vertical, but that doesn't mean it's always gonna line up with your frame. You know what I mean? So if I put a video in Canva of us together, it might have me in the full frame because I adjusted the video, but when you come into it, it might be
it'll be a different. Yeah, it'll be a different.
So what I have to do, and maybe I hope someone tells me if I'm doing this wrong and I need to do better. I really hope someone tells me. What I do is I have to go in, open a whole new Premiere file, and then make it 1080, 920, like the frame rate, or not frame rate, with the frame, which is like the vertical frame. And then I go in there and I place the video. I position it to where it's supposed to be. And then I watch it. And then every time it cuts to someone else, I cut it. And I
that's how it goes. That's how
okay.
You know, and it's
that's
like
how
really
I figured
with each
it
shot. Yeah, it's like each
it's just
shot,
tedious, man.
No, it is, and unless you shoot for that. Now I've seen people. I've seen certain cameras, monitors and whatnot. They have it to where you can shoot for that IG. What is it? What you say is it? Vertical. Yeah, you can shoot, and it'll show up on the monitor as a vertical, and you can keep it, or you could do the whole thing where you put tape on the monitor, and it's like you guide it from there. And so I mean, it's different things, but yeah, no, I feel you.
Yeah, so it's a lot of just like editing stuff I'm learning, and like I'm realizing how much goes into it, man. Oh my gosh, when you're like a one person show, like you do everything, it's just so much work. Like I had like posted like I'm gonna do like 3 videos a day and shit like that, and like because the algorithm picks up on that after a while. And I got to like 2 videos a day, and I was like, man, this is a lot, dude. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. Plus to like edit the podcast, plus to do it weekly, plus to do whatever we're doing outside of all that, and then it's just a lot. And like right now, I'm like looking for a job because we're about to graduate, and like,
whew, that's on a whole nother level. That's a whole nother topic. I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah. When do you graduate?
I graduate early February.
Early February. I graduate January 20th.
Ooh. What? Well, hold on. Well, are you sure it's January 20th?
Yeah, my last day in class is December 20th.
Ah, okay.
And then
or you mean you graduate early January?
Yeah. Well, no, it's kind of like the end of January.
At the end?
It's
so
like
you say
20th.
your last class is December 20th?
Yeah. They make me wait like a whole month.
Why?
I don't know.
It's not supposed to be like that. Like, so just say, for instance, like my last class
I emailed Charlie like 5 times about it,
weird.
Dude. Yeah.
Dang, okay.
Bunch of assholes for it.
Yeah, man. Well, my last class is January like 27th or something like that. And then I'm supposed to graduate like early February, like that next week or that weekend.
See, I think it's because of the New Year's and everything, and like all the holidays and stuff. But it still sucks, dude, because like while I'm applying for jobs right now, like I put like, oh, I have a bachelor's in like film, but I technically don't until January. Like,
I mean, well, I think that's cool though. I mean, because I think it's you really can't work around that, because even with like the internships, I've seen applications well, not really internships because you're supposed to be in school, but a lot of places they ask like, do you have the degree? And I've just been putting bachelor's and whatnot, but then they ask, okay, what's your graduation date or something like that. So so how has that been going for you as far as looking for jobs?
It's been okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
What kind of where you been applying to? Like what kind of jobs?
All sort. Like I'm thinking about taking this route because I like directing, but at the same time, I don't always like the environment of a set. So like it's not like always for me. You know what I mean? Entirely. But I also have like an associate's in business, and so like my mind is like formed like a businessman in some sense. So like I might take like the producer's route. So I've been applying to both producing jobs, assistant directing type jobs to get me to that point. At least production assistant jobs. I haven't heard anything back because I literally just started applying like a month ago. So I don't.
Shit, you need to let me know where you applying, man.
Yeah, I applied for Focus Features. They did like some Will Smith movies, and they're pretty famous. But Focus Features is like hiring a bunch of people, I heard right now. So like check their website.
Word, okay.
I went on there and looked, but I didn't see anything that really interested me. So I didn't. But other than that, like I'm kind of like job searching, but at the same time, I don't know. It's making me nervous because we're so close to graduation.
Yeah.
And like the school's supposed to help you, but the school's so slow. Like I like the school, like don't get me wrong, but there's just like you have to take like a whole month to get through that point. You know what I mean? Like they slowly teach you how to make your resume, and they slowly teach you how to do a proper film company, resume / cover letter. And it's like a whole like month-long process other than just like them laying out in one day and then be like, this is what you need to do. Have all these assignments done by the end of the month and you'll be good.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I wish they did that, because then like I'd be like, okay, now I know exactly what to do.
Yeah. Well, I would say with the school, I would say that's more of a with them getting the help, like just say like career development. I would say that's more of
they help you like get the interview, but they can't help you get the job.
Well, not even just that, because first I got to give a shout out to the career development team, because just off of my experience with them, man, I tell you, so I started school in 2020, and man, a little backstory on me. I was in the Navy. I did 7 years in the Navy. I graduated from high school in 2012. So before I got out of high school, I always heard about like the LA Film School, Full Sail University. They're like sister schools and whatnot. So I had a homeboy, tell me like, yo, you should go to school. At the time, I was doing music. I hadn't even like really dove into like film or anything like that. He was like, yeah, you should go to school, man, for your music. When you get there, you can, network with other people, doing the same thing that you're doing, and the career development will help you get hired. So when I tell you, since 2012, I've always had in my head that like, okay, the career development should be able to help me get hired. So anyway, I go through this whole thing of having to go to the Navy, end up doing 7 years in the Navy for 7 years in the Navy, so they can pay for me to go to film school. And so, man, when I tell you, as soon as I started film school in 2020, the first thing I was doing was knocking on a career development door.
That makes sense.
Because I just kept that in my head, like, yo, when I get there, I need to make friends with the career development team. I need them to know
That's like
who
my
I
one
am.
regret in school. Like,
Man.
literally, like, I think Sabrina asked me the other day, like, she's like, do you regret anything in school? I was like, yeah, not being uptight with the freaking career development people, because, and there's nothing wrong with this. I can't get a job. Like, I just, like, can't, you know what I mean? So, like, now I'm just like, these last 2 months learning about career. Well, I'll get,
Well, it's just hard right now.
It's just hard. Yeah, it's just hard.
You're going to get one.
And I just started really like, they've said it, and this is on me. This is totally on me. This is me being lazy and whatever. Like, you learn through your mistakes. And I heard throughout the school year, like, oh, go talk to career development. But to me, through school, and this was my mindset, was I already have to like work so much outside of school, like just to like stay afloat.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of doing that, like sometimes the jobs aren't always paid, and like I work theses and stuff, but nevertheless, I just always thought that like I don't want to screw myself over in school if they give me a job. Like I don't want to have to juggle both of those.
Oh yeah, okay, I feel.
Yeah, so like I always in my mind, I always like I'm gonna wait till the last 3 months of school, and then I'm gonna go start knocking on their door, and that's what I started doing. But I started realizing I feel like it's too late, because like although I haven't met Steve yet. I haven't really met anyone up there. I have a meeting with them this week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
make friends with them, Steve Longo, Charlotte.
Oh yeah, man.
All of them, bro. I'll tell you my experience after you finish.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, dude. And like, I just realized though, like, I was like, man, I should start like 6 or 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Because like my relationship could have been a lot bigger, and I probably could have got a bigger job. You know what I mean?
Man.
Because the more they like, this is just like the harsh reality of things in Hollywood. The more someone likes you, the more they're gonna get you. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, people will play fair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you have a really strong relationship with someone, they're definitely gonna go out of their way to go extra bad for you. You know
and man,
I mean?
And one thing I've learned about this industry, and I think we're all learning, man. Man, this industry ain't nothing but relationships.
Yeah, exactly.
And not just industry, anything in life. I'm learning as we get older, it's all about relationships. And I think that's where I am in life, man, because I'm at this point in my life where I'm like, yo, you can have a relationship with. I keep bumping into these blocks. I'm like, yo, you can have a relationship with like any and everybody, any just regular Joe Smo, anybody that's like that can, you know, drink with you, smoke with you, like offer nothing to your life, right? But then I'm like, then you have on this other hand, it's like you could be friends and you can have people in your circle who can help you get further and whatnot. So it's all about relationships. We're gonna have relationships either way it go. If we got drinking buddies, people that we watch sports with, or we got people who can help push us further along with our careers or help us out mentor wise or whatnot. So I guess I'm just at the point now where I'm just like, man, I need to have the people in my circle that can help me to get to, and it's not just all about what can you do for me, but at the end of the day, it's like, what can you do for me? And it's not about, oh, give me. But even if it's like, oh, if I can learn something from you, if I can be inspired by something, not just, you know what I mean? Not just having you just being an idle person in my life. But yeah, so that's so, you know, when I first joined the school, man, I always heard make friends with the career development. So I literally went into the school with that mindset. Joined school with the mindset that I was gonna start going to like every school event that they had, anything that I saw posted on the wall. And so that's what I did, man. And so the first event that I ever went to for the school, man, it was cool, but it wasn't just really popping. It wasn't like too many students there. So it really made it easier to be able to network and talk to, you know, like the faculty and the staff that was there. And so that's the first day that I met Steve. And so me and Steve, we got to talking. And he was like, yeah, I'm one of the heads of the career development team. You know, I got my office on the 6th floor, I think it is. And he was like, yo, my office door is open. He was like, yo, I'm here to help. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to, you know, get you opportunities. He was like, but no students come in. And as soon as he said that, it was like the light bulb and everything that I had, you know, been thinking about before joining school. I said, okay. I said, I'll be up there. So literally like 2 weeks later, man, I was just up there knocking on the doors, man. Started telling Steve about, you know, about my aspirations, what I wanted to do, showed him some of my work. And man, within a month of like, you know, just kind of talking to Steve, man, Steve hit me up. He was like, yo, you want to work the Kids Choice Awards?
Oh,
you want to be a talent? You want to be a talent escort for the Kids Choice Awards? It's a paid gig. This is like my second month in school.
Oh shit!
And I'm like, what? I'm like, Kids Choice Wars. I'm like, yo, do you understand? Like, I grew up watching the Kids Choice Wars. I've always wanted to, you know, be a part of. So anyway, this is like my second month knowing Steve. But then COVID happened. Kids Choice Wars got canceled. That opportunity went out the door. When I tell you, I was salty as hell about it. All of COVID, that whole 2 years, I was like, yo, that was my moment. That was, you know, because it was just like, that was my first industry. That would have been my first industry job opportunity. And so I'm like, yo, that would have been my moment, blah, blah, blah. But I kept in touch with Steve all throughout COVID. I was hitting Steve up. I added him on Facebook. I had him on social media. Any work that I did, any like little social media video that I did, I tagged him like, hey, Steve, check this out. And so I'm saying all of this to say I've learned that all of this shit, I'm sorry if I can say that, all of this shit is about relationships. Even moving forward after we graduate, it's about relationships. And the hardest thing is when you first meet a person, you don't automatically just, you know, of course not for all people, you don't just automatically snap like, oh, we got a relationship. You have to continue to, you know what I mean? And you can meet it, and I'm even learning, bro, even at these networking events, like, yeah, you can meet a person, get a person's number, social media, but that don't mean shit.
No. Because
you still got to put the work in after that. You still have to reach out and, you know, communicate and build, you know, ask to meet for coffee, ask to meet for Zoom, and you know what I mean? It's like little stuff that you have to keep, you know, kind of feeding until one day you get that opportunity, or, you know. So I say all of that to say is that I'm really learning, and from there, and like I said, even during COVID, nothing was happening, no opportunities, no work, nothing. But I kept hitting Steve up, and I was like, I kept calling him. I'm like, hey, I'm here, just letting them know, like, hey, I'm here. And bro, since we've gotten back in school, Steve has gotten me on at the Oscars. Steve has gotten me on at the Emmys. Steve has gotten me on at Sir Elton John's private party as a talent escort. And I say all of that to say is I tripped so hard during COVID. I was so salty. I was so mad that my opportunity was lost.
Yeah.
But 2 years later, by keeping that relationship, by not being like, okay, whatever, I fuck it, I forget that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I kept, and that's the thing is about, it's all about the process and having to like stay persistent. And that's with anything. Like I said, with any job that we get from now on, from any person we meet, networking, anything, we have to just stay on it. And it's hard. It sucks. It's going to be a lot of times where it's like, damn, I didn't get nowhere with that. You know what I mean? Like, that phone call didn't, we ain't talk about shit. You know what I mean? But I feel like after keeping that relationship going, it's to the point now, like, yo, the career development has helped me out.
That's awesome.
And so I feel you where you say, like, right before graduation, it's a little anxiety, it's a little nervousness, because I feel the same way. But then at the same time, I'm like, all right. I'm like, but I think they might be able to help me out in some way. For sure. I think so, man. So that's like what I'm.
It feels like a gut punch to me because I'm like, man, this is all the stuff I've been missing out on.
That's interesting, and I really love to hear that you're reflecting on your time like in school, because I think that's so important with anything that we do in life and anything, as far as like when we're about to move to the next step, because I feel like reflecting can help us to help better us for the future or for the next situation. Yeah. So, and the reason I say this is because I've recently asked myself that same question, and not to like rub it in, but I asked myself, I'm like, is there anything that you could have done differently since I've been in school? And I thought about it, and I was like, no. I said, I truly feel like I've done every single thing possible that I could do. And so when we talk about where we're at in life, where it's like, damn, we're both anxious about graduating, I feel like it's good for us to weigh, what's going on in life and how we feel, like you finish your thesis. That's shit. That's a way in the positive. Like you got that. You like did too, shit. Yeah. We both just finished our theses. So that's a positive for us. That's something that we're taking from school. Do you know it's a lot of people that graduate and don't have anything to show.
It's true.
So that's putting us a little step ahead, you know what I mean, of the competition or our peers or whatnot. So I feel like it's really good to reflect on that. And so so I've thought about it, and I was like, man, I feel like I've done everything. But it's not too late though. Like you say, you got your meeting. You got a meeting coming up with them and whatnot. So keep that in your head, even moving forward. When we graduate, we still have contact with the career development. The career development, they're still reaching out to the why the fuck do I sound like I'm a representative of the I know, right? But this is just things that I've seen, and the reason I'm so passionate about it is because I see a lot of my peers that that really don't know how like dope the opportunities are out there.
Yeah,
I can say. Or even I'll go online and like read the reviews for the school, and a lot of people talk mad shit about the school, like, yo, the school don't help us out, blah blah blah. And I'm just saying, as a testament, like as a student, as a veteran, the school, they help, but it's you just have to know
who, and like how.
Not even really who, but I feel like it's just like you gotta take the opportunities that are given. So just like even with you and your thesis, you took that opportunity and you did your thesis. It's a lot of students that have graduated and ain't got a thesis.
That's true.
That's important to me. That's like after all of these years in school, this is the final product. This is literally everything that we've done or worked towards to put together. And I'm not judging anybody that doesn't do a thesis. It's life. Yeah. But I'm just saying, as far as like as far as understanding the assignment and getting the job done. Like, I feel like we do all of this to get to the end to be like, all right, let's do this thesis. You know, so to see that you did that, I salute you for that.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, I appreciate you. You know, I salute you for that too, bro.
Thank you.
It's just hard too, man. It's easy, but it's hard. You know, it's easy because you love doing it, but it's hard because there's a lot of factors into it.
It's a journey, bro.
Yeah,
it's definitely a journey, man. It's a very anxious journey, but at the same time, I'm excited though. I'm excited, but
I was like nervous the whole time, like anxious, like you were saying. But I get what you're saying. I was excited too.
What you mean as far as like filming your thesis?
Yeah, for filming my thesis. Yeah, I was incredibly anxious filming my thesis, man, because like, yeah, and I stayed anxious during the whole shoot. But besides the point.
Now, I wanted to talk to you about that too. I want to ask you, like you know, reflecting. You know, I know you've had time to reflect on that. So how do you feel about it? What have you learned from that? What are some things that you would do different, maybe, or?
Okay, yeah, and you know, this isn't like directed towards anybody in particular. This isn't like, oh, like, you know, I don't want certain people around. No, I like appreciate and love my crew, and like they're all really close friends of mine. But sometimes like there's a few things I wish I would have chose differently. You know, I think the way I approached it all together, like as a developmental aspect, I think I should have spent more time on it. You know, I had like the storyboards, I had the shot list, I had this and that, but I felt so overwhelmed during the process because like the only person that was really helping me during the process, other than like the few times I met up with the DP, was Hutch. You know what I mean? Hutch was like my right hand man the whole time. Like he was with me with every single problem. He's like, you know, we're fine. You know, we got this. Do your thing, Joseph. You know, so shout out to Hutch for real. You know,
yes, sir.
He was really the backbone of that whole production. Him and Joseph Reese were, you know, really the backbone of that production.
My guy Hutch.
Yeah, man. They're both, you know, great men for sure.
Yeah.
And,
you know, Hutch was a producer on my joint too.
Yeah,
so
dude,
so
he knows how to get shit
he
done.
really saved the day. Him, Juan, and my campaign manager Rianne. Yeah, bro.
I know you had 3 producers on yours. I was like,
man, bro, I needed it, man, because man, that was
yours looked really put together. Like that was my regret. Was mine wasn't well put together. Like my thought process wasn't well put together. Like
as far as what though? What you mean? Because from what I saw, it was. I was inspired by your set.
I just like I guess it goes back to being like anxious the whole time. I just felt like so overwhelmed the whole entire time that like I felt like I couldn't think straight, and I felt like too many people wanted too many things from me that they should have already known when we were shooting. Like they should have known that pre-production, you know, like I was saying kind of before the thing started. And, you know, like I was really mad about it at first, but now I'm like at peace with it. And I've kind of just, you know, had my own thoughts on it. Was that, you know, like a lot of people bailed too, you know, a lot of people that like, and it's okay. Like, it's okay that people bailed. Like, I get it. Like, they were working for free. You know what I mean? Like, there's no hard feelings there because, like, at the end of the day, I've done the same thing. So, like, I can't really, like, bash on it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it was a big bummer to see so many people, you know, bail. And some people were sick. Some people said they were sick when I knew they weren't sick. You know what I mean? Because, like, I talk to people, you know what I mean? Like, people talk to me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not an idiot, you know what I mean? So, like, sometimes I wish I would have picked certain, you know, things better, but, you know, everyone worked so hard, though. Like, everyone worked so hard. Everyone was so dedicated to it. During the shoot, though, I had a studio teacher. This is why you don't work with kids. Not because of the kids. Not because of the parents. Yeah. Sometimes the parents, but this time not the parents. But because of the legal aspects behind children in film. It's so stressful. And so, like, my studio teacher, not only did he infect my whole crew with COVID, so he brought COVID onto set. So the day before we shot my thesis was my birthday. I timed it. Me and Sabrina, like, timed it on, you know how like you had the stop and go watch on the iPhone. We timed it. I spent like a total of like 5 to 6 hours arguing. Oh, you're good. I spent like a total of 5 to 6 hours talking to this dude on the phone on my birthday about laws and how they should be and this and that, and like in an argumentative way.
Yeah.
Like, cause he was pretty much like saying I don't know what I'm talking about, but I was like I do, because I've spent the last like 4 weeks of my life reading this stuff non-stop, bro. Like, cause I don't want to fuck up. Like, I don't want to get like in trouble or get fined $10,000 because I mishandled a child on set or some crazy shit like that. Anyways, he's making this big deal about how the kids have to be there at this certain time. He was making a humongous deal about it. They had to be there at a certain time. I was like, all right, cool, great. I'll have them there. They showed up there on the dot, right? You know what this man was 45 minutes late. So I had the kids there illegally for 45 minutes. And if like any like type of officer or anything rolled up on my shoot, checked my shit, they would have saw that I had permits for have a kid, but they would have saw I didn't have a studio teacher, and I would have got shut down. So he put me in a really tight situation. So that really sucked. Dealing with COVID really sucked during that, because COVID shut down my whole shoot the day before we were supposed to wrap too. And I was leaving for Brazil the next week, and I couldn't get everyone to shoot it the next day, or I couldn't get anyone to shoot it after I got back right away. So I had to wait till like November 1st to shoot everything. But then that's when everyone like bailed, even though like I'm not salty. I'm actually, I guess I'm still a little salty about it, but like bailed to the point where like you couldn't get it finished or get it done. Like I got it done, which I'm grateful for. But for the amount of money I spent on it, I was really like disappointed in people, because I've had their backs like crazy through the years, and I've never asked for like a favor, because I just don't direct shit. Like, honestly, like I don't like do productions like on my own, and so I never asked for a favor. So this is like one time I asked for a favor. Now everyone pulled through, which is fine. You know, like I can't be butthurt about that, because it's again for free, and on top of that, no one's obligated to do shit. No one owes me nothing. The world doesn't owe me anything. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. But, there was just a lot of hardships and lessons within that timeline, of like, especially when the day hit and I realized there was a lot of people who weren't showing up. Some people were legit sick, and I understand that. But other people were not. Yeah. And they still like, just like, and then I heard something from someone else saying other stuff, and I was like, all right. I was like, whatever. Yeah, and I trust that other person more than the other person saying it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I don't know. Sorry, man. Yeah, no, it's good, man. It's just like I learned a lot of lessons. I spent like $8,000 on that shit. Jeez. Okay. So I think I have like kind of the right to be salty about it, like, because like I just like I don't know. Like a big thing is like personally, I kept hitting up people. Personally, I didn't have to, because I was the director. It's kind of. I love Hutch, but most of the time it's like the producer's job to do this part, which he was doing this anyways. I was just helping out. But I was hitting up people to be like, make sure you're good for the first. Make sure you're good for the first. Texted people like crazy, dude. Someone saw him, someone just left me on Reddit. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. And they saw it. And then like, I swear like 5 people like the night before like texted or called me. I was like, I'm not going to make it. I was like, y'all had like 6 weeks notice. I was like, we haven't shot in like 6 weeks. Yeah. And I was just super disappointed with it. I was super, super salty about it at first. Yeah. But now I'm like, it is what it is. I'm learning, like, I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, but I had a certain beef with somebody.
I'm oblivious to it.
They worked on your set. It's not why I didn't go, but
okay. Yeah, I didn't know it. I did. Okay. Yeah, you know what? It's so funny because now conversations are. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
He has nothing to do with that timeline, but what I'm saying is, I agree with what you're saying about relationships. Though, is I'm not trying to have beef with anybody anymore. Even though I feel salty towards that person, I don't want to have beef with that person anymore, because like, what is the point of that? Like, we all work in the same industry. Like, we might as well all help each other out while we can. Like, we can be mad at each other. That's cool. But, like, we don't need to, like, disown each other completely. You know
I
what
don't
mean?
know, man, because there's some folks. I'm like,
There's
there's some
there
folks.
are-
I'm just like, nah, I'm good on them. I wouldn't
That's
and
fair.
but so like so I can say,
I think when you're getting to the top versus when you're at the top, it's different, though.
well, so in the relationships, you know, I definitely think it's all about your team that you have, and going back on as we reflect on our college career, I look back and I think about, okay, the team that I have come across since I have been in school, like you. I knew Chris and Daniel prior to school, but thinking how knowing them introduced me to you, Hutch, you know, just a name, Shay Bella, you know, Devontae, you know, just a number of different people. And even on my set, man, I was looking at like all of the people that were there. I'm like, damn, I've met a lot of these people through like Chris and Daniel, but I look at them and I'm like, okay, yo, this is the team. And of course, not like every single person, but it's like these are the people that we've come across, the people that we know that we can tolerate, that we like, that we work good together. It's like, yeah, we can. I don't want to say have beef with somebody, but I feel like it's okay to be like, I'm good on that person.
It's okay. Yeah. I agree to that. It's okay to like disassociate yourself.
Or be like, or like, nah, I wouldn't work with that person. Yeah. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
I just feel like, I don't know, like certain situations, it's different. I guess you could say it. Certain situations is different. Like my situation I'm talking about was like over some stupid ass shit.
Yeah.
Over some stupid ass shit that there's like no reason to end a friendship over. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel you.
And it's just like childish shit. So like things like that, you know, but like if they like screw you over with work or like they purposely try to like, you know, damage your career or, you know, you just don't work well together, period. That's fine. Like, you know, like, but I just don't think that people should like, I don't know, especially in the business, because it's all about, you know, like you're saying, relationships in the business. That one like the way I view it is I don't want to have beef with anybody because that one bad mouth could talk to that one person that could probably change my life.
Yeah, or that one person that you beefing with could one day get in position. You know what I mean? Like it was suck one day. Like, yeah.
And I want to be able to give that person, not be like a fucking cocksucker in the future. Be like, oh, we had that beef way back in the day. I don't forgive you for that shit. Yeah. I'm still salty for that. Fuck you. Like
that or to see, or you know, either or to be in a position and like just say you run into somebody out one day, run into that person out one day and they've made it and it's like, oh shit, I used to go to school. You know what I mean? It's like that would have been an easy, you know, hey, remember me type of thing. But if you got beef with them or if y'all left off on something, it's like,
contact.
I may as well not even talk to him. You know what I mean? So
no, 100%.
Yeah, no, I feel you though, man. I feel you. Okay, so
how was your set though? Like oh wait, before we move on your set, I will say though, like at the end of the day, like everything like falls back on me. Like it was my set. I feel like, you know, some of the people maybe have left. Maybe like the set environment wasn't like ideal. You know, in a sense, because I was anxious all the time. I was stressed out. I got like half my, like, I let like Daniel and like Joe and like Hutch handle like a lot of things. And then, you know, like they did an amazing job, but it was a very stressful set because like I said, I just wasn't as prepared as I probably should have been.
Which day was the most stressful for you?
Oh, definitely the last day.
Okay.
The first 2 days were amazing. Like, okay. I loved like the way everything flowed and, you know, like it was fantastic. Other than the studio teacher, you know, the day we shot in the hospital when you shot.
That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised to hear that because like that day it was perfect. That day was like I got inspired by your set.
That day was so fun.
It was good. Everything was positive. Everything ran smooth. Everything was quiet. Was really fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then the next day was really fun as well. But it was just that last day where I had to postpone because of COVID. It was just that last day. And, like, I could just tell, like, just, like, reading the room, like, half the people didn't want to be there because it was just such a dragged on production, which is understandable. I mean, I've been in that situation and I don't want to be there, sometimes, so it's a human feeling. So like at the end of the day, everything like falls back on me. And I think it might've been like the environment of my set, or it might've been the fact that we dragged it on too long and people were just like, yeah, I'm over it. I get that. But at the same time, it kind of goes back to like I felt like my friends owed me one.
Yeah.
Like hardcore. Like I just done a lot of free shit for everybody. And like not everyone pulled through like I was hoping they would.
Yeah.
And then like after production, they would act like nothing. Like I like confronted one of them about it and they acted like nothing. Like they acted like stupid about it. I was like, dude, bro. I was like, I know. Like you like told me in a different way. You just don't realize you told me in a different way.
Yeah.
I was like, I know. You know what I mean? So like, it's just, I don't know. It's weird. Cause like, I don't want to be salty about it because I'm not, cause I don't have beef with anybody.
Yeah. I feel you.
I'm just disappointed because I spent so much money on it, and money's not like a huge thing to me. It's just that was a lot of money. Like I didn't have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was a lot of money I didn't have that I'm gonna have to pay back. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't able to get my full entire budget. I was able to get like 80% of my budget. You know what I mean? But to like feed everybody good food and like get the miscellaneous toys we needed for the kid and like the clothes and stuff, I had to get a little extra dough. So like it was just like it hurt my feelings a lot that like it just wasn't exactly how I thought it was gonna be. You know? But I blame it all on COVID though, like for real, because like if COVID didn't stop my shoot, that shoot would have been so smooth and so easy. And like by that day, I could just tell everyone wanted to just like go home and everyone was tired and exhausted. I was like, yeah. By the time we got to like 9 p.m., I was like, yeah, everyone's definitely wanting to go home. Yeah. We did like I think like 11 to 9. And I was like, all right, let's go. I mean, but during
that set, it was smooth though.
Yeah, it was smooth. The last day wasn't as smooth as the other 2 days.
No. Do you mind, like, as far as
I can explain it. Like, if they get mad at me, like, they can text me. I don't care. Yeah, you know what I mean. Whatever. But like, for instance, like my DP is like my best friend out here. You know what I mean. Me and him have never like beefed before, and we beefed on that set.
Really?
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we like I remember why I was upset that day. I had lost someone I knew that day, and people were disagreeing with me on my shoot, so I was just kind of getting pricky. Yeah. You know what I mean? Kind of dicky and like douchey and stuff. Because I was just getting irritated at that point, and like on top of that, all I'm thinking about is this person that I just lost. I'm like I can't think straight. Yeah. And so like we beefed a little bit, and we like made up like an hour later and blah blah blah. But like that made the shoot rough, and the people that were missing, I wasn't able to fill all their positions. Shout out to every single person that came in at last second, for real. I appreciate you. Allison, Divya, and I'm sorry if I'm missing anybody else, but you guys are rock stars. Thank you so much. But yeah, like I had to call people at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, yo, I got to shoot like an hour outside of LA in like 2 hours. Yeah. Like, do you think you can do this? And like, thank God for Hutch and Daniel and Joe, because they all really pulled through. But it was just, nevertheless, I'm super happy that I'm super, super happy that I got all the kid shit shot first.
Oh, yeah.
Oof. Oh, my gosh. The kids cost me like $3,000 in total. Between fees, dealing with shit.
What?
The studio teacher. Yeah. Yeah.
And for him to show up and do what again?
Be late.
What did he teach?
With COVID.
What did he teach?
Nothing. He didn't do anything. He just sat around on set, bro. He didn't even watch the kids half the time. Fuck that dude. I was so mad. You have no, like, Hutch had to, like, I don't even remember his name. I didn't care enough. I didn't care that. Hutch had to, like legitimately calm me down. I was like, bro, I'm going to lose my shit.
Well, let me say I hate that this happened to you. But I don't want to say I like hearing this, but I like hearing this because I want to ask you, as far as reflecting on what to do different next time, what went wrong. I know you say COVID, but this is all good to be able to reflect, right? Because it's all about, okay, for the next shoot, doing it better, getting better. So that's what I would like to ask you, man, as far as reflecting.
Yeah, reflecting wise, definitely work harder in developmental stage of things. That's for sure. Definitely talk to more people before production starts to make sure they're good to go and everything's good to go, because that was a huge problem too. And that's, like I said, all this stuff falls back on me. You know what I mean? I'm the general source of all the information. So if it doesn't get out there, that's at the end of the day on me. And that's something I learned too, is like, it's not my team's fault if I fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, and, you know, if they didn't get, for instance, like my editor, I was like, why is he editing? Like, for like the first week he was editing, I was like, why is he editing this wrong? And because my dumbass only ever gave him the first copy of the script, not the like 8th copy of the script I was on.
Oh, wow.
And so he was like, this scene's missing, this scene's missing. I can't find the sounds for this. Yeah. And I was like, what do you mean? And I was like, send me your script. And it was like the January 27th, 2021 copy. I was like, oh no. And so like, it's at the end of the day, it's like all on me. And so like, I just really learned that when it comes to pre-production, I need to be on my shit more. My team was like fantastic. At the end of the day, they're fantastic. My actors and actresses. Oh my God, dude. You're going to see the rough cut before you leave tonight. Nice. The actresses are just amazing. And the kids are great too. Yeah. You know, and my whole crew is just amazing rock stars for real. Like, you know, like I said, at the end of the day, all the problems that happen fall back on me. You know what I mean?
It's a lot though, man.
Yeah. Our thesis is like, they're kind of similar though. I know both of ours deal with opioid addiction with both our mothers. You know what I mean? And, you know, so kind of going off of mine, I kind of want to ask you, you know, how was your shoot? How was, you know, what did you reflect on? What did you learn the most? Is there anything that went south that you were hoping that didn't, or, you know, lay it on us?
Man, reflecting on my thesis. So the film that I wrote and directed is called Room Service. It's about a mother struggling with addiction, desperately tries to convince her estranged husband to come home, only to find out that the best way to move forward is letting go. And it's a story that is loosely inspired on my mom's struggles with opioid addiction before she passed away in 2020. And so you asked, how did it go? Man, when I tell you, or you asked as far as like reflecting, like, you know, how do I feel about it? I'm grateful, man.
Likewise.
I am grateful. I have so much gratitude. Like ever since we wrapped on production, bro, I've really just been on this natural high, like on this cloud 9 feeling, because everything just worked out so perfectly. Man, this project, it pushed me in a lot of different areas that I've never been into. It pushed me in a lot of uncomfortable areas. For this one, we did the whole fundraiser campaign. We raised about $7,000 for the entire project, and just doing that alone, bro, was a lot, because I could never even fathom like the thought of somebody giving me money to shoot a film, and to get out there and to first ask people, because you know how it is, you know, with pride and whatnot, like asking people for money. That's just something that I don't even like to ask my parents or like my grandma for money. But yeah, that was hard for me, and but it, like I said, it pushed me in a lot of uncomfortable places, but I got it done. You know what I mean? I got the job done. And like I said, we, you know, shout out to everybody who supported, who went on our Seed and Spark, who donated to the film. Everybody who supported and donated. We got a bunch of cool incentives coming you all's way. So just know that the production at the film could not have been done without your support. And even with that, man, I reached out to a lot of people, you know, as far as like donating. I got put on red for, you know, for some. Some people told me they would do it, never got back to me. And I know that it opens up for a little bit of saltiness and a little bit of, but I also had in my mind too, like, okay, well, nobody's obligated. And like I said, even fathoming the thought of somebody giving me money, I'm like, bro, I would tell people if somebody could just even give me $25 or $15, $10, I'm like, that's enough. Not enough, but you know what I mean. I'm grateful for that. So man, so yeah, shout out to everybody who supported and did that. The film turned out amazing. The actors were amazing. The crew was amazing. The sets was amazing. Everything is just amazing, bro.
It looks great online.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I got mine too, so I can show you
I can
show you a cut of mine too.
Yeah,
man. So I'm like 50% done with you know, with the post, or as far as like cutting it and doing the sound and everything. But yeah, man, I feel real positive about it. I really cannot wait to you know, take it on the film circuit. I really feel like both of our films are heavy topics, man. And like even when I was reading your script, bro, it really felt like both of ours was like likewise, on the same like level, like damn near like one of the scenes. I'm like, damn, that's how mine damn near ends. You know what I mean? But, so no, that's really cool, man. It was real dope being on your set. And like I said, from that day that I was on with you, everything looked great, bro. So I even, you know, from the shots, you know, looking at the monitor and, you know, from the stills that you've been posting.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, man, everything looks good, man. So I'm real positive about that, man. I'm just real hopeful. I'm getting to this point where, man, I'm ready to take this shit to the next level.
Me too.
Like I'm tired of feeling like I'm stagnant. I'm tired of
being that student.
I'm tired, yes, tired of being that student, and I'm tired of doing this on an amateur level.
Yeah, same.
I feel like my whole life, I've done things on an amateur level, but I've always had this mainstream mindset. And when I say that, I mean like I've always had the desire to want to get my work to the point to where
me too,
my stuff is being seen worldwide. My stuff is being able to not just help out my personal family and friends, not help, you know, inspire or help out or be seen by my personal family and friends, but seen by people and can touch people who I've never met a day in my life. And so I'm at a point now, man, where I'm like, I'm trying to figure out how to take everything to the next level, bro. And even like with, like, you know, I salute you for with your production. You say like it costs like $8,000 to do it, but the fact that you put that into it, that shows that you were serious and that you cared about your production quality, and that you weren't just trying to put some BS together and you know, just and put it out. And I guess I'm just to that point where I'm just like, I'm tired of putting BS out.
Yeah,
I'm tired of putting out work that's like, that looks amateur, that looks like, oh yeah, they're still in school. Yeah, they still got more to learn. I'm like, nah, bro. I need my shit to look like that shit can be on Netflix.
Yeah,
that shit can be on Amazon Prime. And I'm like, cause why not? I'm like, we have all of the tools. First of all, we have the education. You know what I mean? We're about to graduate with, so that I feel like that puts us on another level. Like we're educated filmmakers. You know what I mean? So that's one. And then being in this era, being in this place where we have everything that is so obtainable, equipment, lenses, cameras, lights. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, going back to those relationships, and I know you say that like you had people bail out on you and whatnot, but I still feel like you got a team.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
man, maybe not like, but I still feel like
I still have a full blown team.
You still got a team. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's if you look back on where we were 3 years ago, right? I feel like we could say we're at a way better place as far as like being able to hit people up and being like, yo, can you help me with this, or can you point me in the right direction for that? I know I can. Mm-hmm. I remember at one point, it was like, shit, 3-4 years ago, I was in my apartment way before I even started really doing film. I was outside and I looked across the street and some guys were like filming. I don't know what they were filming. I don't know what they were doing. I just saw camera equipment and microphones and stuff. And I just instantly got like this jittery feeling. I'm like, oh, I want to go over there. I want to know what they're doing. You know, and I'm like, I wish I could be around people who are doing things like this. And now 3-4 years later, man, I'm like, I'm around people who are doing things like this. You know what I mean? I feel like I can reach out to you and be like, hey, bro, can you help me out with this? I feel like I can reach out to Chris, Daniel, Hutch, or any, you know, people like that. So yeah, you know, so I'm grateful, man. I say all of that to say I'm grateful where I'm at with it.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
That's good, man. That's good. And you know, it's a lot of, you know, like you were saying though, you know, both of our theses deal with such a like heavy subject, dude. How did you? I want to know, how did you come about dealing with that subject with your actors? How did you put into words how they're supposed to feel, I guess you could say? Like, for me, I found it tricky with Barbara. She's an amazing actress. But I didn't want to tell her how she felt because I wanted her to be her authentic self. But I still wanted to get the message across. Did you have any trouble getting the message across with your actors, or was everyone pretty, you know, on point?
Well, let me say shout out to my actors.
Yeah, definitely.
For the main character who played Nicole, we got Kiki Wineglass, and then who played Samuel, we got Aaron Atkinson, and then who played our housekeeper, we got Shay Bella. So yo, shout out to all of my actors. Thank you all for being a part of the project. Y'all did amazing. The cut looks great. And to answer your question as far as like how did I relay that to them, it wasn't really hard for me because I feel like when I spoke to them, and then even when I told them, you know, the story from the jump, I was kind of intentional with everything, you know, that I was saying. And when I say that, as far as like I was explaining the situation, I guess, of the story, explaining really more of where the character was, and not really like, okay, I need you to feel like this. I need you to show. Yeah. So really just like, okay, the character, and at this part of the story, the character is going through this. So I think like that, instead of
that's
like,
what I would do. Barbara was, I would say her last name, but I don't want to butcher it.
Yeah, I feel you.
So, but you know who you are, Barbara. Shout out to you. You're amazing. Everyone's gonna know your name someday. So, anyways, that's what I would do with her though. Is if I didn't like know how to put into words what I wanted to do, I would just like talk about the story that's in my head that like resembles this scene. You know what I mean? Like I'd be like, okay, well, I remember during this time in my life, blah 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 blah. Or like you'll see a scene where she's in the kitchen smoking a cigarette, and I just explained. I was like, I came out one time, my mom was just sifting through these photos, smoking a cigarette, looking out the window, pacing back and forth. She gets up, paces back and forth, and I was like, I literally told her, I was like, I trust you. Do with that what you will. And we took several different takes, and they were all fantastic. So you know what I mean. So like, I feel you. I understand what you mean.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It really wasn't hard relaying or getting them. Now I can't say that was, you know, is when we talk about anxieties. I think that's one of the things that are on that plate or that list of anxieties before working with actors, because it's like, okay, how am I? You know, one is like, okay, are they going to be able to understand where I'm coming from, and are they going to be able to get it, or are they going to be able to click with my vision and with what I'm seeing for the character? So I know that's one.
Yeah, I always suffer from imposter syndrome when I like.
What you mean?
Like when I'm like directing, or even for this, for instance, like when we're talking, I feel like you know what imposter syndrome is, right?
Explain it.
So imposter syndrome is like when you may or you may not know what you're doing, but you feel like you're full of shit pretty much. Like, I feel like, for instance, I feel like I'm not believable.
Okay.
Even if
like you shouldn't be doing it?
Like I shouldn't be doing it. Exactly. Like, I don't feel like I'm believable and I shouldn't be doing it.
Now, why is that, though?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I suffer from imposter syndrome because, like, not everybody in the world feels like that when they do it. But it kind of goes back to my last day on my thesis, too. I felt like that on my thesis because, like, although we were all doing it and everything, I felt so disorganized because of just all the things that hit me that day and the night before. I felt so disorganized and so disconnected that I just, like, felt like an imposter. But we were still able to execute it, you know, well. And, like, everything was shot beautifully and it looked really nice. And, like, I'm super happy with the way my team worked and everything. I just felt, even when I do this podcast, sometimes I'll be talking. Even when I hear myself in post, I'm like, bro, what the fuck? I'm like, you sound like you're full of shit. Like, even if I know I'm not, and like trying to be genuine, I don't find my voice believable.
Really? Oh yeah, we got to get rid of that.
That's what I'm saying.
We got to shake that off, man.
I feel like COVID did that to me though.
Really?
Because before COVID hit, dude, I like was on this like high for like 2 years straight, bro, of just like grinding and grinding and grinding. And COVID hit and like knocked me off that grind and made us all sit down forever. And I just haven't been able to bounce back. Like I used to be so dedicated in the things I did. Like when I lived in Oregon right before I moved here, I used to wake up at like 5 a.m., go to the gym until like 6, or no, I'd go to the gym. I'd leave the gym by like 6:45 or something. And then I'd go home, take a shower, and then go to class. And then I'd go to class till like 3:30. And then I would go to work at a regular job at Buffalo Wild Wings as a cook from like 5 to like 1. And then I would go to the gym after work and then do that all over again. Yeah. And that's like the type of grind I was on for like years when I lived in Eugene. And then leading up to moving to LA, and then COVID just smacked me out of it. And I just like have not, how would I say? I haven't been able to feel the same way as I felt back then. Like I haven't been able to get that groove, that feeling of like, oh, like I'm fucking the shit.
I'm on my shit.
Yeah, like I just haven't been able to get that feeling back. Everyone keeps like be like, oh, it's so great. This is so great. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. I'm like, it's okay. I don't know if that maybe that's too because I'm just so desensitized to the fact that we constantly have to climb mountains that I just don't think it's a big deal either. Maybe like subconsciously. I don't know.
Well, I do feel like as humans we go through those stages though, because I feel like I felt like that before. You know, sometimes there's times, we can feel like low as hell, like the lowest, like, yo, I ain't shit, like I ain't doing shit, as and then it's times where like you say, we on cloud 9 and we are like you say, I'm fucking killing it right now. Yeah. So yeah, man. Now how to get out of that though? It's how hard. To easily get out of that? I don't know. Is it a way to get out of it? Is it a way of getting out of that, or is that just a season that we go through?
But see, it's like for me, it feels like it's been too long for it to be a season though.
And you say how long? You say you've been going? You say because you say
it's like pretty much COVID, dude. I just haven't been like in a groove of like I feel like I feel confident in my work. I just don't feel confident in myself to pull off the job and for people to believe that I can pull it off.
So are you not believing? So you're already saying that you're not feeling like you can do it.
Yeah, like I feel like I believe I can do it, but I also at the same time believe I can't do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, actually, I'll put that. I believe I can do it, but I believe that others think I can't. That's how I should really put it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know, man.
It's so interesting. It's so interesting.
My brain works weirdly, and like that's how that's why I wasn't trying to be salty earlier. And like at the end of the day, it's like my fault with my crew because it's like I've just been foggy like this for so long that it's just like it's a natural thing for me to like feel airheaded. And so like I even like slowed down my weed usage. Doesn't work. So like I'm thinking about quitting just entirely. Hopefully trying to at least to see if that changes things. But like I just have not been able to get my groove back, man. Like, and it's weird. It's weird, man. It's really weird. I don't enjoy it.
I feel you. I hate that for you, and I'm sorry you got to go through that.
I appreciate it, man. It's all good though, man.
It's a sucky stage to be in.
Especially when we're like, it's like when I think I posted like a clip about it like a few weeks ago, and it's like we get to these moments in life, and you think it's a big deal, and then you get to it. It's like graduating. Like my whole life, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna like I can't wait to graduate college. It's gonna be like the greatest day ever. And then like I'm a month away from, I'm like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like it's just like I don't know if that's just not having excitement for life. Like I don't know, like what the fuck.
It's something. Well, it's I don't want to say weird. You don't have an excitement for life, but it's something. It's something that's not. I don't want to say that's not fulfilling you, but it's something.
It's something, yeah.
It's something. But then at the same time, like I said, as humans, I know we go through those stages. We go through those seasons. Damn, yeah, man.
It's tricky, man. It's tricky. I've been trying to figure it out forever, man. I'm like, I don't understand. I've tried like working out. I've tried eating better. I've tried a combination of all of them together. You know, like.
And that's just not working.
It's just not working. I don't know, man. It's weird. I'm gonna make some changes after Christmas, though. Hopefully,
and maybe
the things will turn around.
Yeah, man.
I think it's a lot of it's just like, again, just imposter syndrome. Like I just feel like I'm not like for instance, like I know like what I went through with like my heart condition and stuff, but sometimes I feel like people think I'm full of shit. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, like stuff like that, like. Or, like, I'll be directing. Like, when I was directing Barbara, you know, she was great. She did nothing wrong. But sometimes I felt like, I don't know if she believes me. You know what I mean? Like, so just in my head consciously.
So, yeah, that's internal.
Like, in my house subconsciously, it's like, I don't know if my career thinks I can do this. You know, even if they all believed in me and they all, like, all definitely, like, reinsured me that they all have faith in me. It's still something in my head that's just like, yo, like, you got to start asking yourself why not. That's what I've been doing lately, and I feel like I'm really in that stage now, to the point to where it's like a fire in me, to the point to where like I don't want to say angers me, but I get like real like aggressive when I'm like, why the fuck not me? And I think I'm really in that stage now because I'm looking, and I think now even like more than ever, like with social media. And I've noticed that, like, just say, like, with social media, you got different people. You got some people who can see other people doing well on social media, or, like, rich people, you know, people flaunting money, vacations, nice cars, blah, blah, blah. And some people will really be like, will let that get them depressed or get them down, or to the point to where it's like, all right, I need to take a break from social media. I need to get away from this shit. I know people personally who do that. And then I feel like myself, I'll see that and I'll look like, why can this motherfucker have it? You know what I mean? Yeah. Or like, what are they doing that, you know, or what makes them so, you know what I mean? Or just say like, if I see a director or another videographer or something like that, and I'm like, okay, well, what makes his work, you know, that much better than mine? So I'm getting to the point now where I even going back to the production quality and like moving forward, I'm to the point to where I'm like, I need to take this shit to the next level, because I see so many people out here taking this shit to the next level. And it's not A-list celebrities. It's not, you know, all these rich, it's just regular everyday people. And even like working, doing the Oscars and the Emmys, man, it was days like I was working the event and just seeing regular people walking around with their Emmys and, you know, celebrating. It's just like they were doing jobs like production design, sound, makeup, stuff like that. But I'm like, everybody out here can eat, so why can I not eat? Yeah, exactly.
It's so many people that I know that are like struggling in life, broke, whatever. I'm like, I've come across those people my whole life. I've rarely come across rich people, people who are on their shit, that's doing, you know, doing this, doing that, owns biz, blah, 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 all this good shit. And I'm like, okay, I need to be around people like that, and I need to get to this level. So I guess that's where I'm just at right now. I'm like, why not me?
Yeah, that's a good place to be. That's a place I want to be. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
man.
I think I'm really kind of chiming in on that. You know what I mean? Especially since I got my teeth fixed.
Yeah, and
see, it's like, you know, I think it's just a confidence thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, you know, at the end of the day, I know we're both gonna be like, you know, I'm not trying to be cocky, but I know we're both gonna be successful in this business, along with our whole crew. You know what I mean? Like it's bound to happen. Like, you know, if you stick with it, it's gonna happen no matter what.
Yeah, man.
And it's kind of on the mainstream aspect too. It's like I feel the same way. Like I want my shit to be mainstream, and people, you know, call us posers, whatever. I don't care. Like I want our shit to be mainstream because like you want to affect a larger population. You don't want to be like, cool, like let's do the indie stuff. Cool, like that's cool and all, but like nobody's really like watching it, you know.
Or the independent stuff is going mainstream, you know what I mean? Or it's getting to the point to where you know it's more eyes are starting to be on the independent stuff.
Yeah.
My thing is like I'm just tired of putting my work out and it's just sitting on social media, maybe getting a couple of hundred, maybe 1,000 or so views, because I'm to the point to where I'm like, why not me?
Yeah.
If this person over here is getting their shit seen and at
I feel that in a
film
way.
festivals and getting awards and stuff like that. And it's, you know, it's not just all about that, but I'm like, I want to be able to put, I got something to say as well. You got something to say as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like we have voices, we have stories that we're trying to tell, man. And I'm like, why not us? We have a degree. We have a film degree. We're out here in LA. We have the team of people. No matter how many people that is, we got people who will pull up and help us out, right?
Exactly.
So I feel like having all of that puts us at another level from just the regular person who just like, hey, I'm just gonna start filming. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And those people end up making it. Just
true.
You know, so if it can happen for somebody else, man, it can definitely happen for us, bro.
For sure, dude.
And I tell you, man, from the outside looking in, you look like you know what the fuck you're doing. You look like you got it going
man.
on.
Thank you so much.
See the smile. That's, bro. I'm telling you, man. I walked in here, bro. It's like I'm already seeing you on another level. So no, fuck all of that, bro. All of that stuff in your head about like you not doing and you don't know what you're doing. Forget that, bro. You know what you're doing.
I appreciate it,
Keep
bro.
killing
Thank
that shit,
so
bro.
And likewise, I feel the same way about you, bro. I saw pictures. I heard stories, dude. You obviously cultivated that set in a way that like blew everyone away. Hutch told me, I don't know if he wanted me to tell you this or not. I'm gonna tell you anyways.
Yeah.
So if he gets upset, whatever. But he said that was by far the smoothest and most professional set he has ever been on.
My guy Hutch. I love Hutch.
Yeah, man. I was so happy when he told me that. I was like, Marteverick deserves that one. He deserves it. You're a hard worker, man.
Thank you,
know, thank you for coming on. And
thank you.
I appreciate you taking the time. There's like Hutch, just like Hutch, you know, whether it's 5 viewers or 5 million viewers, you always got to see on my podcast, man.
Yes, sir. And it was such an honor, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much for coming on. You know, this conversation was just, you know, really great. And it's good hearing from you. It's been a while. So thank you again for coming on. Again, everyone, award-winning director, writer, actor, Marteverick D. Shears.
Hey.
Yeah.